Hello and welcome to the SAF 22 National Convention. I'm excited to be here with co-founder and CEO of NCX, Zack, Parisa, and looking forward to having a conversation with him about all the work that NCX is doing and what that means for us as a forestry community. So Zack, thank you so much for making the time, and we'll just jump right into questions and thoughts really quickly. Obviously, this is a time where we've seen more emphasis and investment be put into our nation's forests, their impact to the world and climate. So much so that there was even a conversation about carbon offsets on John Oliver's Last Week Tonight. Yeah. So with your organization and what's being done in the world and some of your recent successes as far as going through a year of your program, what are your thoughts? What does this mean to have carbon offsets and forests as part of the climate solution really be elevated to something that is a well loved and widely known program like that?
Yeah, Terry, first, awesome to be here with you at a convention. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a real moment for forests and for foresters. And, what is distinct now from even, 10 and 20 years ago when we started studying forestry is the attention that is on the sector right now is fundamentally different. I mean, we've been talking about all the different benefits of forests beyond timber for as long as forestry has been a profession, and certainly that's recognized by so many landowners and for public and private. But to see that being recognized now in the market, and to have real questions being asked of what that solution can be, and for foresters now to be stepping up and answering those questions. That's exciting and that's different. And really it constitutes a new opportunity for small landowners. For us, we opened up a market for small landowners last year. So everyone can participate not only in timber markets, but also to be paid to grow their forests longer, to hold more carbon, and soon to develop habitat for species of interest. To be able to be paid for those things and to incentivize change in management is vital to developing the forest of the future that we actually need and that we want. But around that, we have to develop a real conversation as professionals about how we help educate and how we help encourage people to take those opportunities as they work for them, as they align with landowner goals and objectives, which has always been the case for us as foresters. And so, it is wild that this conversation has gotten to where it is, and it's exciting. So it's just at the Natural Capital Exchange in NCX, we're thrilled to see thousands of landowners getting onto a platform and putting their hand up and saying, tell me how this opportunity might work for me. And that's landowners that are on public, private, institutional lands, all the way down to small family forests. So yeah, this is a real moment for us as a profession. And as I think about that, where we were when I was a student and where that conversation was and where we are now, a student in SAF and now as a professional in SAF, I'm interested actually to know from you, Terry, how do you see people engaging best in that conversation? How do you see people working with SAF best as a conduit for information, as we're all trying to figure out how best to practice as foresters or in the forestry community to help answer some of these critical questions that are showing up on John Oliver?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Zack. And I truly can agree with you more that the reality is this is one of those unique moments. It almost makes me wonder about if this was kind of the conversation, or in its own way, kind of the conversation when Earth Day was established. Like there's just such an emphasis on natural spaces and what they mean to these broader global questions. And I'd say, as far as SAF is concerned and what that means, it's the core of who we are. This ability to bring foresters together, to have the background and perspectives and knowledge base and skills from across the country, but also at the same time be able to leave some biases and perspectives at the door and have these strategic conversations and sharing of ideas and respectful and professional disagreements around what's going on with our forests and what are some of the practices that can help us continue to scientifically and sustainably manage those forests. And so as we look at the opportunity with our scientific journals and other publications that help share and convey some of that information, obviously our convention where there's so much technical transfer that takes place, and also, the growing new set of researchers that come out and present for posters. There's just all these different areas. And we also increased that opportunity by the launching of a online learning platform in Forest Ed and an online community platform called TradeWing. And just as an organization, it's our space and our responsibility to really create these connections for our members, for professionals as a whole, that we all learn together, that we all know that we need to step into this space and engage in these conversations around just research, but also around policy and advocacy. And ultimately, we are here to speak for the trees. That's what we went to school for. And now we're being looked to speak for those trees, not just amongst ourselves, but with everyone. And so it's an exciting time. It's a challenging time, but that's what we all signed up for. And there's nothing more that we can expect than to have partners like you at NCX and other partners to help us convey that message and create that space. So a huge thank you to you as a partner of SAF and a sponsor of our 22 convention, and looking forward to seeing you on the exhibit hall.
Absolutely. No, it's Terry, it's our pleasure to support the convention and to support SAF. From being an SAF member as a student all the way till now, I really appreciate the conversation. I've learned so much from my colleagues as a forester through engagement with the society, and so it's real pleasure, and I'll see you out there.
Excellent.